Hello, my name is Nazir Khan from the Faculty of Civil Engineering Technology. Welcome to all of you to Statics and Strength of Material. I thought I would do this Getting Started video to help you out as you are new to the course. When we look at what I have on the screen here, as you enter into Learn, and I'm going to enter that, and your screen will not be exactly the way that mine is, right? So I have lots of shells and so on, lots of courses. You will probably see one or two, and I'm going to go into this one right here, Statics and Strength of Material 1, which is the one that you should be getting into. Okay, when we look at a distance education course by nature does not have contact time or classroom time. So it is self-guided course, meaning that you are provided with the information in Learn, the course notes and all of the practices and the assignments and the assignment quizzes and so on in Learn, and you go through it independently, basically. And when we look at what we have here, this is called a news page, right? So items such as welcomes and so on will come up on your news page, and you could read through this. Anything in red is something that you should pay special attention to, make a note of. And then when we go down to the second news item here, it's telling you how to make a PDF from MS Word, right? So the procedures are right down in here. PDF means protected data format, right? And of course you could take a picture and you could paste it into Learn, or you could not into Learn but into Word, and then save that that Word document as a PDF file, and that's the procedure that's there. And you need to do this for your assignments, right? Because your assignments are submitted into the Dropbox into Learn, which I'll show you where they are, as that PDF or protected data format. Right? And then we go down here, how to book an exam. Well, we are in unique times right now. The COVID-19 situation is with us. So if we're back to normal, this is the procedure, how to book your midterm and final exam. But if not, more than likely we would have to go to online type of testing procedure, right? So that tells you a little bit how to book the exam, and I will keep you informed as we come up to your midterm, how to, whether you're going to have to book within the distance education or exam services, or you're going to do it online, right? So it is, the course is designed for writing in person, being with an invigilator. When we look at some information on the midterm, you could read through that. Writing exam out of exam period. Well, this is a warning really to tell you that you should not be doing that. You should be writing your exam within the exam period. And then down here we have some directories. I'm not going to go into these directories because there's a much better way that we could look at this. As we go up top now, on the right hand side here, it has some information about information that you should look at when we look at this May we have 20th, and we have assignment 0 drop boxes ending. So it tells you about when things are due. But there's again another way that I would like you to a more efficient way basically to look at this. And the main two tabs that you will be looking at, the main two tabs are this one here, course content and assessment. Right, so these are the main two tabs that you will be looking at. Let's go into the first tab, course content. And when we look at that, we have a bunch of sub-tabs really, and you have content, but I'm going to go into calendar first because that's where all of your due dates are. This is the most informative piece of information that you are going to get to meet your deadlines. When we look at this, the first thing I want to do is ensure that I'm on the month tab. So if it's on agenda or day or week or anything, go to the month tab. It shows you a lot more information, and it shows you the time between items. When we look at this, we have week 1. That's the start of the course, right? And you're going to have this time in here to go and basically work on 3 items. You're going to work on looking through the course note. You're going to do the assignment according to page 24 of your course notes, and then you are going to submit that assignment. You're going to do the assignment quiz, and then there's an online test. Now, where are all these things? Well, you're going to submit week 1 information in week 2, right? So when we look at these 2 items here, when we see that it says assignment 0, but if I click on it, it tells you some more information, and you could click always on the more button and so on. It gives you the information, but that's when you have all this time in here to get that done, right? And then once you get that done, because the Dropbox itself, when you submit your assignment, that's when the assignment quiz becomes available. So you should be submitting this ahead of this time, 4:30, which is the assignment quiz. They are sequential in nature, and of course you would submit your assignment, then you go and take the summary sheet of your assignment and enter into the assignment quiz. It's a 2-part system, right, for an assignment. You're going to do the assignment and submit it into the Dropbox, and then you're going to do the quiz with enter your answers into the so that you get an immediate mark. And if either one of these, like say for instance you just submitted assignment that does not meet the standard or format of the course, then your mark will drop. Your mark will drop. And if you make some mistakes on the quiz, and I see that you've done a good assignment, and I might adjust your mark upwards. So that's and this is 1 mark. The 2 of them is 1 mark. So you're going to get a quiz mark first, and then I'm going to go in and adjust that quiz mark to represent the 2 parts of your assignment. Now when we go here, we have the 2 parts here. The 3rd part, which is the online test, you're going to have to go and do that also. So you're going to submit the assignment, do the assignment quiz, and then the online test, and hopefully you will score well on the online test. And then we go to this is section 0 assignment, and section 0 assignment, and all of the 3 items for section 0 is a run-through. It's not worth marks, so therefore you should be aware of that. It's not worth. But when we get to section 1, now this will affect your final grade. So you're getting a chance to go through the procedure, and then now you start to be graded. Okay, so and as we look through, we have for this guy section 1 assignment, section 1 assignment quiz, and section 1 online test, and that goes through for all of these. If we were to go to the next month, which is now June, and I would see that the same format right down here, somewhere in this week here, you're going to have your midterm test to be written. Like I mentioned before, this, depending on the situation that we have with COVID-19, you might have an online test that you will be doing, or an online exam. And then that's the same for all the way down. You have everything there, and final exam in this week. So you have to meet these deadlines, and if you are late with the deadlines, your assignments will not be accepted, and also you will not have access to the assignment quiz. So this is important that you meet the deadline. Even if you submit a partially done assignment, that would be fine, because then you would get to the assignment quiz and you would pick up those marks. So it's important that you do these things in sequence. So that's basically, when we look at that, that is the calendar on Learn, and it has everything that you need to know right there. Let's go to the content. Let's go to the content. These 2 sub-tabs here are the main ones. Locker and these other guys here, you don't really need to use those. But let's go to look at the content, where you find your information. And here we are. Okay, so we are on the course content, and it's showing you the content of the course now. Now there's an overview tabs and so on. Let's go to course outline, right? You see that there's a file there, and you could go and look at that. I'm going to click on it right now, and it gives you your course outline. You could go through that. And let's go back. And I'm going to go on the equation sheet, and likewise there's an equation sheet for you to use. Problem solution. This is an important one, because I've provided most of the problem solution that is in your notes. Most of them are there. When we look at this one here, we have section 3, 9, and problem 3. and we have this sort of situation. That's the problem that's given in the notes, and there's an answer here, but I've done the detail answer key right in here. You should follow the format of what I've done here to lay out your work, right, in your assignments, right? So you should follow that. When we look at, say for instance, a force is a vector. A vector has four components. It has magnitude, it has the direction, which is horizontal, it has the sense, which is the arrowhead is going to the right, and the point of application is on the back. So those are the four components of a force. You will learn that in section, in the early part of this course. You will see it in your notes. And of course you lay out your work. Each one of your assignments will have a summary page, and you will have sequential work. And we will see that when we get into week 1 directory, how that works. So this is on the problem solutions, right? So this is on the problem solution. Like I said, most of the answer keys are right in here because there's quite a number of them that's there, right? So most of your answer keys are there, or the harder ones. When we look at the next ones, we have assignment and practice exam key, right? And we are looking at this. Now, after you've completed your assignment, submitted into the Dropbox, you've done the assignment quiz, then this assignment key become available to you so that you could review and see where you've gone wrong or whatever it is. But it is there, but it only comes alive, it only comes available to you after you have submitted, completed the assignment quiz, right? So that's the only time that it comes available. If you miss your due dates or you miss your assignment, then this thing doesn't come available to you and there's no recourse, right? So you have to be careful with that. As we go down, you could see section 1 assignment solution, so or section 6 assignment solution, and so on. And as we go right down to the bottom, you see final exam right here. This one comes available to you about 2 weeks before the final exam, and this one becomes the key becomes available to you about 1 week before the final exam. So it sort of preps you for your midterm and final. Okay, so that's some of the things. These are extra components, the problem solution, and that I think would be useful for you guys to have to help you, because when you're looking at a distance education course, it is a self-guided course. There's no contact hours, there's no class time, and you are required to go through the material on your own, right? So this is important for you to help you out. Complete course notes. So if you want to look at the complete course notes, there they are. That means when it says complete course notes from section 0 to section 14, but we are going to go up to section 8 in this particular course. So you are only going to be looking at up to section 8, and I better check that right now. And we're looking at section 8, right? So we are going to go up to section 8 in this course, right? So you should be looking at that, but this goes up to section 14, which is the second part 2 of statics and strength of material. And as we go down here, we see that we have a week 1 directory. If you remember, there is a week 1 on your calendar, and I'm going to go back to the calendar and just show you that. Calendar, and we have week 1. So when we look at that and we go under content, we should be able, come on content, okay, we're back to, and you can see there's a week 1 right there. It has all the information that you need right in here. You should pay attention to these, especially the highlighted red items and so on. You should read through them. When we look at this, we have a Learn demo, very similar to what I'm doing with you right now. And of course, these are links to YouTube videos that I've made and placed on YouTube. Assignment, you should look through this one in particular, right? Because you don't want to lose a lot of mark because your assignment does not meet the quality or standard of the course. And when you look at the rest of this, how to make a PDF, we've gone through that on the news page. Submitting assignment into Learn. So there's videos there. When you have these linked things, it means that more than likely it's a video. And using my MATLAB, this is the notes for section 0, right? Section 0 notes. So we had the full course notes that I showed you where it was. Now you have section 0, just that part of it that you could look at. And you complete that, and then you go to the assignment, and you do the assignment, then you go and submit the assignment into the Dropbox, and then move on to the assignment quiz, which is the summary sheet of your work. You're going to enter those answers in there. When we look at this equation sheet, again, is at this location. This one here I've placed in here because problem paper, this is what you do your work on, right? And you could print this off. And the reason why I placed this in here is because you can't go at this time to the bookstore and buy this problem paper. So now you could print it off. You have to put statics and strength of material. You're looking at term 1, full name in here, first and last name printed, due date of the assignment, and what problem is on this page. So if you use the second page, you're going to put it different. And then you have page 1 of 6, page 1 of page 2 of 6, and so on. So you fill out those, and that's basically for the problem paper issue. And as we go down again, we're looking at RC Pro. There is a checklist here. It's a little bit over the top, but you should look at it and so on. When we look at we have week 1, this is for week 2, and all of the weeks are set up very similar to that. It has some information, the assignment, the problem paper, and so on. So you have everything in one location for week 1, everything in one location for week 2, and so on. These acronyms that I have here, it means assignment 2 and quiz. Right? So assignment 2 and quiz is in that directory, but you should follow the Learn calendar. Those are the official due dates for those things. And as we go down, you could see that we are going to assignment 12, week 13, and maybe I miss some of these here, but these have their information in there too. Final exam on the 15th week. And we are looking at gaming module. You can look through these other items. I have a bunch of videos that I have on YouTube to help you out, and when we go there, you could see that start the video, okay, and you could go, and they're right up in this area here, and video list and hello students and so on. So you could look through that also. Okay, so we are looking through this guy here. We went through course content and calendar. Let's go and look at the second tab. These are the two main tabs that you will be using, right? Let's go through the second tab here. This is your grades. You could click on that and see what mark you get and so on. The next thing is the Dropbox. Now for every assignment there's a Dropbox, and you won't see the exact thing that I see because I'm an instructor. I get more features, and I don't. When you look at this, you have each one of the Dropbox for term 1, and then each one of the Dropbox for term 2, right? So there they are. When we look at this, the final exam Dropbox, you won't be seeing that right now, and this one is also not there. There's no late assignments anymore. When we look at again the Dropbox 0 should be here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then it continues. Your midterm will cover term 1, section 1 to 5, and your final will cover this section. Okay, so that is where you find your Dropbox. Let's go on to assessment again, and let's see where you're going to find your quizzes now, right? And when we look at the quizzes, you just click on that assessment quizzes, and all of the quizzes are here, and they are in categories really. You have assignment quiz. So when you finish assignment 0 and submit it, here's where you find your assignment quiz. to do it, right? And don't leave these things for the last. I mean, I know that the due date is on the calendar, but you should do them ahead of time, right? And all of those assignment quiz. But then you have what they call online tests too, right? And those are right down here, and you could go and click on them. These ones, the online test, you could do them as many times as possible up to the due date, right? And then you don't have access to it anymore. Of course, you'll get the highest mark so you could get in there and do them as many times as you want. It makes sense for you to go sequentially, do the notes, do the assignment quiz, and then after that you do your online test. Okay? And that is where we are. Let's go back here. I don't think any one of these other tabs would be useful for you. Again, this distance education is different from say daytime classes and so on. So you have to be self-sufficient, you're self-guided, and I hope that this video helps you get started. Thank you. Bye-bye.